Hey folks, it's the Red, getting back to the Crash Bandicoot 2 No Damage run. Next up, it's the Road to Ruin. Better than the Road to Nowhere, I guess. So, what do you get when you cross the ancient city levels with the temple levels from the previous game? Well, you get a stage similar to this. Lovely. But before we have a look at the level proper, we're actually going to have a look at this alternate path first. Now, normally we wouldn't be able to make it across here, even with a slide jump, because we just wouldn't be able to get the distance to clear the gap. But, with a tricky jump maneuver, we can actually make it across here, and hit this block to fill in the others. This is how you normally make it across. And you also normally come at this area from the left. So, with that jump maneuver, we're actually over here earlier than we're supposed to be. So, yeah. Getting here is similar to getting the red gem early. And besides, we do need to come here to get to this box completion gem after all. Figured I'd go ahead and do it now to save a little backtracking. Now, here is where you would normally spawn into this area. That's right, there's an alternate entrance to this stage, and I'll be showing that off later. Let's go ahead and clear out these boxes. But be careful as you do spin, because there is a TNT box here that's all too happy to say, surprise! That's why you always want to be mindful when you go spinning into a crowd of boxes like that. Because you never know when there might be an explosive around it. Wait for the fire. It's a good bit easier to get across coming this way, the right way. You don't have to time your jump quite so closely. Anyway, let's begin the level proper now. As you can see up ahead, we have some rats to contend to. This one appears to be stuck on an island. Let's put it out of its misery. We also have some tiki heads in the background that like to stare at us for no reason. What are you looking at? And this one doesn't seem to know how to get around this box. Let's help him out. Be free! But don't bump into me. And what are you shouting at? Boy, what are you saying? What are you saying? I'm coming over there. Boom. Oh my god. I'm having too much fun with this game. Anyway, we have some lizards here. We have to beat them with a slide. Do not spin them. Do not jump on them. And always be looking ahead before you go jumping across, to ensure that you're not jumping into trouble. You can wait on this last platform until you get a safer jump. And always be keeping an eye on those tiki heads there, because some of them will spit fire on you. We have a death route here, but we'll be checking that out in a little bit. We have some business to contend to up ahead. Excuse me. Grab our well-hidden crystal for plot reasons. And random boxes. Kind of feels like there should have been more done with that exclamation box, but whatever. Alright, that should be all we need to do in this direction, so let's head back for that death route. Waiting for the fire, and let's go. Okay, it's death route time. Unlike the bonus round platforms, you shouldn't go running around on these platforms because they don't have the protective barrier that the bonus round platforms do, so you could throw yourself into a pit if you do that. Okay, up ahead we have some pretty rapidly moving logs that we'll need to get around. You can step into the background to avoid them, or if you see one coming at you, you can spin it away. When I first played Crash 2, I never knew that those could be spun away, so that was a pretty neat surprise that I found out about. And here's our culprit. You can just spin him away, and he's no problem. Now we have some spinning platforms similar to the ones that we saw back in the temple levels of the first game, except these ones don't dip into the pit. So thank goodness for small favors. And we have more log dodging up ahead. You can either jump over them or spin them away, whichever you want. But if you're going to jump over them, I recommend doing a high jump. Take out Donkey Kong here. And now we have some teetering platforms. These ones are a little dangerous. You don't want to be standing on these. You don't want to be standing still on them because, as you can see, Crash does slide on them a little bit. And you can slide off into the pit if you stay on them for too long. Definitely be careful. Also be careful during this section. You want to move between the fire, and there's our gem. Now we'll take this skull platform here. It's kind of hidden behind the background there. But there we go. Death route completed. Now let's see if we can finish this thing off. By now you should have a pretty good idea of which platforms are going to collapse under your feet, so be careful as you move forward. Out of my way, please. Okay, it's bonus time. Case in point, you can run on these, no problem. Okay. Oh, I don't want to run there. Some invisible blocks need filling in. Basically, just a bunch of back and forth with these explanation boxes. Until we can eventually make it across here. That sounds painful. Whoops, didn't get that one up. I guess I'll have to go back. Well, those could... because these things do respawn. And I guess we'll just have to wait for the builders to put them back up. Screw gravity! So yeah, not too terribly much to this bonus. Pretty easy to get through. Okay, at this point we should be pretty close to the end, thankfully. This level has been quite a headache so far, so I'd really like to be done with it. We'll have to be careful of the fire up ahead, and let's get across quickly. Alright. We also have the return of monkeys. This time we can spin them away without them knocking us back. So that's nice. Sell off the TNT, as well as all the nitros. Alright. Just one more monkey to get past. Gotta wait for him to come to me. And knock him away. And we're through, and there's our second gem. We got both gems without having to backtrack. Wonderful! And Road to Ruin is finished, with all treasures acquired. Most of my outtakes, yeah, as you could probably imagine, is going to be trying to perform that tricky jump maneuver. That was probably the hardest part of this whole stage, and that was pretty artificial. So, you don't need to do it that way, but it saves you some backtracking. Anyway, that's it for this video, and next time, ho-ho, there's going to be pain. But not as much pain as what we're going to see here, probably. Let's have a look at those outtakes, and next time we're going into Unbearable. I'll see you then! If TNT boxes could talk. What was that? Oh! I probably jumped forward too soon there. Well, that was just dumb. Most platforms go off to the side like this that let you just sidestep them altogether. Try not to overjump them. Using a jump maneuver similar to the one that got us the red gem early, we are able to get... Oops. There's a lot that you need to be mindful of. Case in point. And we do need to come in this direction if we want to get all the boxes after all. Seeing where you're going is helpful. Watch the fire as you jump across. Oh, what? Ah, and there was the gem. A lovely... Oh, you! I was late on the spin there. Ah. Oh! I'm not sure what happened there. So similar to... a little late there. When I first played Crash 2, I never knew that those things could be spun. So it was a pretty pleasant surprise. Ah!